Brahman and Vaishnava. The conclusive comparison between Brahmins and Vaishnavas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Translated by Bhumipati Das. Continuation, Part 2. If we want to analyze who is actually such an influential Brahmin, we can find in Manu's Dharma Shastra that in the beginning of creation, the universe we now see was devoid of characteristics, invisible, and full of darkness. Thereafter, the self-manifest Lord agitated the Mahabhutas and other material elements and entered within in order to illuminate this unmanifest universe. Lord Narayan first created water, and with a desire to produce various progeny from his own body, he then placed his seed in it. From his seed, a golden egg as brilliant as 1,000 suns appeared. Lord Brahma, the creator of all the worlds, was born from that egg. In order to increase the population of all planets, Brahmins were born from the mouth of Brahma. Kshatriyas were born from his arms. Vaishyas were born from his thighs, and Sudras were born from his feet. Thus, the 4 Varnas were created. This is explained in the first chapter, 5, 6, 8, 9, 31, of Manu's Dharma Shastra as follows. There are several Sanskrit verses here. In the Rig Parishishta it is stated, translation, the Brahman appeared from his face, the royal class from his arms, the Vaishya from his thighs, and the Sudra was born from his feet. End translation. A compiler of Dharma Shastras, Harita 1:12-15 has stated, translation, from the mouth, the sinless Brahmins were created for the purpose of performing sacrifices. The child born of a Brahmin in the womb of his Brahmin wife is known as a Brahmin. End translation. Yajnavalkya 190 has stated, translation, when women of the various castes headed by the Brahmins produce children in the wombs of their wives, belonging respectively to the same caste, their sons attain the same caste as their fathers. End translation. When inter-caste marriages first became current, the sons born from Brahmins in the womb of either a Kshatriya or Vaishya woman were also accepted as Brahmins. Translation. The son born of a Brahmin in the womb of a Brahmin woman is undoubtedly a Brahmin, and the son born of a Brahmin in the womb of a Kshatriya or Vaishya woman is also a Brahmin. End translation. But medieval smrtis, such as Koluka, a commentator on the Manu Samhita, and Vijnaneshwara, the author of the Mitakshara, consider that these intercaste children belong to the caste of their mothers. In Manu Samhita 10.6 it is stated, translation, sons begotten in the wombs of women belonging to castes lower than that of the father are considered as similar to the father but contaminated due to their mother's inferior position. End translation. In the opinion of some commentators like Kulaka, the caste status of such sons is inferior to that of their fathers and superior to that of their mothers. In some places, these sons are given designations like Murda Bhikshita. It is stated in the Manu Samhita 1041 as follows, translation, children born from a Brahmin father and a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra mother from a Kshatriya father and a Vaishya or Sudra mother, and from a Vaishya father and a Sudra mother. These 6 are inferior to the children born of parents belonging to the same caste. End translation. Sons born of Brahmin parents, sons born of Kshatriya parents, and sons born of Vaishya parents, as well as sons born from Brahmana father and either Kshatriya or Vaishya mother, and sons born of Kshatriya father and Vaishya mother, are all considered among the Dvijas, or twice born. They are, therefore, all eligible for accepting the sacred thread and the other Brahminical samskaras. Those Sutas, Magadas, and others who are born through pratiloma marriages involving the twice-born classes, such as Sudra father with Brahmin mother, Vaishya father with Brahmin mother, or Kshatriya father with Brahmin mother, Sudra father with Kshatriya mother, Sudra father with Vaishya mother, Vaishya father with Kshatriya mother, are all considered Sudras, and therefore do not undergo the sacred thread ceremony. When the sages who compiled the 20 Dharma sastras assisted the kings in controlling and maintaining human society, they directed society in following the path of ritualistic, fruitive activities. The compilers of the Puranas also recorded the customs and activities of those times. The methods found in the Itihasas and Puranas for ascertaining who was a Brahmana are often more or less the same as those found in the Dharma Shastras. Although the Dharma Shastras are composed of rules and regulations, how those rules and regulations were followed in practice and respected by the people of this world has been described by learned writers of the Itihasas, and in the course of describing their historical events. In ancient times, the activities of the Varnas were determined in different provinces by the various textbooks of practical application of rituals belonging to the different branches of the Vedas. That is why the behavior of a family in one region was different from that of a family in another region. Textbooks of practical application, like the Asvalayana Griya Sutras and Sakayana Shrota Sutras, among the Rig Veda branches, the Latyayana Shrota Sutras and Gobhiliya Griya Sutras of the Samaveda branches, the Katyayana Shrota Sutras and Pashkariya Griya Sutras of the Sukla Yajur Veda branches, and the Apastambiya Shrota Sutras of the Krishna Yajur Veda branches, as well as the Kaustikiya Sutras of the Atharva Veda branches, were more or less mastered under the support of the kings by the sages who compiled the 20 Dharma Shastras. Moreover, the rules and regulations of a particular Dharma Shastra were followed according to the particular place. In the opinion of some persons, at the beginning of the Kali Age, the Manu Dharma Shastra and the doctrine of Parasharamuni were prominently accepted, while the other 20 Dharma Shastras were neglected. Others say that the doctrine of Harita was prominent, and the activities prescribed by the other Dharma Shastras were neglected. Generally, whatever one found convenient was accepted, without regard for others' consent and liking. In the medieval age, many new smrtis were compiled on the basis of the Dharma Shastras in various parts of the country. Sometimes people gave special credence to certain parts of the Dharma Shastra lawbooks to suit their own taste, and sometimes they neglected the main purpose of the Dharma Shastras by rejecting those portions that did not suit their taste. Those who are conversant with various scriptures can often see this from their study of various books. When the ritualistic smrti sastras are effective for a particular person in a particular place at a particular time, then that particular person at that particular place and time has a high regard for those scriptures. But we cannot say whether the same regard was felt or accepted by other persons in other places and times. One cannot expect that the ritualistic smrti shastras will be fully honored by all persons at all places and at all times. At those times, in those places, and for those persons for which ritualistic practices are prominent and the topics of jnana and bhakti were not respected, are not respected, and will not be respected, any conduct other than that prescribed in the smrti shastras have certainly been neglected, are being neglected, and will be neglected. Evidence from the many Vedic sutras, the 20 Dharma shastras, the Puranas, the Itihasas, the Yamalas, the Pancharatras, and the Tantras, is found in the writings of learned compilers of smrti shastras of our country. Raghunandana Bhattacharya and Kamalakar. Madhava's Kalamadhava and Kamalakara's Nirnaya Sindhu, Chandeshwara's Vivada Ratnaka, Vachaspati's Vivada Chintamani, Jimu Tadvuhana's Dayabhaga and Kalaviveka, Hayayuda's Brahmana Sarvasya, Sulapani's Prayaschita Viveka, Chalahari Nrsimhacharya's Shmityartha Shagara, Anandatirtha's Sadachara Smriti, Nibaditya's Surendra Dharma Manjari, Krishnadeva's Nrsimha Paracharya, and Ramacharna Chandrika. In all these digests, difference of opinions due to different tastes are found. Whatever opinion the author nourishes has been supported by those statements of previous sages that suit their taste. In regards to a Brahmin's qualification by birth, in the Anusasana Parva of the Mahabharata and in other scriptures, the Apasadas, Anulomajas, Murda Bhishiktas, and Ambastas are specifically accepted as authorized Brahmins. In many parts of India, the sons of Apasadas, Murda Bhishiktas, and Ambastas are known as Brahmins and considered equal to those born in strict Brahminical lineage. In some parts of India, however, they are rejected and not included amongst the Brahmins. If one studies the Samhitas and certain other parts of the Vedas, the reader will obtain a clear impression that the overall message of the Vedas is the path of fruitive activities. But if one studies texts like the Upanishads, which are the head of the Vedas, then one will certainly receive the impression that the science of self-realization is superior, and consequently the path of fruitive activities will appear less important. Moreover, there are two tendencies among the readers of the Upanishads. Some, with a desire to enhance their knowledge of the self, take help from fruitive activities in order to attain the contrary mentality of monism. They ultimately give up all activities and practice renunciation. Others who neither accept nor reject the fruitive activities of this world, neither accept the help of Karmakanda nor the philosophy of Jnanakanda, rather they realize that the truth established in the Vedas is full of spiritual variegatedness, and thus they engage in his devotional service. A certain great soul, who understood that religious persons belong to 3 categories, expressed his understanding in the following verse, quoted by Sri Rupa Goswami in his Sri Padyavali. Translation. Among religious-minded people, some follow the path of fruitive activities, and some follow the path of mental speculation, but our only resort is to carry the shoes of Lord Hari's servants. End translation. Karma and Jnana are 2 branches of the Vedic tree. Those who have taken shelter of these 2 branches have certainly fallen from the standard of pure devotional service. Pure devotional service is the topmost ripened fruit of the Vedic tree. In the field of fruitive activities, all people are bound by the fruits of their actions. Although one is freed from bondage to the fruits of karma by the process of jnana, unless one takes to pure devotional service, he remains bound by the fruits of his karma. Therefore, the jnanis are, by their own identification, bound in fruitive activities.